Welcome, beautiful damsels. She needed no permission to be herself, and with every passing year she became even less inclined to ask for it. Aging is often painted as a slow descent into irrelevance, but for the Sigma female, it's the exact opposite. In fact, studies show that women often become more confident and self-assured as they age, shedding societal expectations like a snake sheds its skin. For the Sigma female, the elusive, fiercely independent personality archetype, age isn't a burden, it's a weapon. Picture this. While the world scrambles for validation, she's over here sipping her coffee, unbothered, plotting her next quiet triumph. Her edges aren't softening with time, they're sharpening, and her aura of mystery is only growing stronger. Why? Because life has taught her one unshakable truth. The world doesn't owe her understanding, and she wouldn't want it even if it did. So buckle up, because what you're about to discover isn't some tired cliché about wisdom and wrinkles. It's the story of why older Sigma females become more extraordinary, magnetic, and downright untouchable with every year they live. And trust me, they're not asking for permission to be amazing. Number 1, they reject timelines without regret. Older Sigma females have an incredible ability to step away from the pressure of society's timelines. By the time most people start panicking about where they should be in life, whether it's about career, relationships, or personal achievements, the Sigma female has already dismantled the entire concept of should. She knows that success doesn't come with a deadline, and happiness isn't found by following a checklist handed to her by others. This isn't some rebellious phase, it's a deliberate choice born from experience. Over the years, she's seen how rigid timelines lead to burnout, shallow victories, and unfulfilled lives. She's watched people chase goals that weren't even theirs to begin with, only to realize too late that they were running someone else's race. The Sigma female has no interest in that kind of regret. Instead, she forges her own path, even if it means being misunderstood. What makes her approach so extraordinary is her complete lack of regret. While others might second-guess themselves or feel behind in life, she's unshaken. To her, the idea of being too late is laughable. She knows that the only real timeline is the one she sets for herself. Whether it's starting a new career at 50, finding love at 60, or pursuing a passion she never had time for in her 20s, she does it all without hesitation. And here's the kicker. This freedom isn't just empowering, it's magnetic. People are drawn to her because she radiates a kind of calm confidence that only comes from living life on her own terms. She's proof that ignoring the clock and following your instincts isn't just brave, it's the key to an extraordinary life. Number 2, timeless appeal that defies labels. Older Sigma females possess a kind of allure that's impossible to pin down. It's not about the latest trends, flawless makeup, or fitting into the narrow mold of what society deems attractive. In fact, their beauty has little to do with physical appearance and everything to do with the energy they exude. Confidence and authenticity radiate from them in a way that's magnetic, making them captivating without trying. This isn't the kind of charm that fades with time. If anything, it deepens. They've spent years shedding insecurities, rejecting external validation, and embracing who they truly are. This self-assuredness translates into an ageless charisma that transcends superficial standards. Whether they're dressed in a simple black turtleneck or a bold, unconventional outfit, they carry themselves with a presence that says, "I know exactly who I am." What makes this appeal so timeless is that it's utterly unique to them. Sigma females don't rely on societal labels to define their worth or their beauty. They don't care about fitting into categories like youthful, sexy, or fashionable. Instead, they carve out their own niche, effortlessly blending strength, grace, and individuality into something that can't be replicated. And because they're so unapologetically themselves, they make everyone around them question what beauty and style really mean. They're the ones who show up at a gathering, effortlessly commanding the room, not because they tried to, but because their energy speaks louder than anything they could say or wear. In a world obsessed with labels, trends, and fleeting standards, the Sigma female is a rare constant. Her timeless appeal isn't just an exception to the rules, it's proof that real beauty lies in breaking them. Number 3, living proof that solitude isn't loneliness. Older Sigma females are a living testament to the idea that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. While society often equates solitude with sadness or incompleteness, they've turned it into their greatest strength. For them, solitude isn't a void to be filled. It's a sanctuary where they recharge, reflect, and thrive. Their self-sufficiency is remarkable. They've mastered the art of enjoying their own company, whether it's through pursuing passions, diving into personal growth, or simply savoring quiet moments. This ability to find joy within themselves is a direct challenge to the world's insistence that fulfillment requires constant companionship or external validation. What sets them apart is their mindset. They don't view solitude as a punishment or something to be endured. Instead, they see it as a choice, a deliberate decision to prioritize their own peace and growth over superficial connections. They've learned that being alone gives them clarity and space to focus on what truly matters, free from distractions and obligations. But make no mistake, they're not antisocial. They value deep, meaningful relationships, but they refuse to settle for anything less. If a connection doesn't bring them joy, growth, or authenticity, they're perfectly content walking away. This selective approach to relationships is what makes their solitude so empowering. It's never about isolation, but about preserving their energy for what truly counts. In a culture that often fears being alone, older Sigma females flip the script. They show that solitude isn't something to escape, but something to embrace. They redefine what it means to live a full and satisfying life, proving that true contentment comes not from who's around you, but from the strength and peace you carry within. Number 4. Intellectual longevity over shallow trends. Older Sigma females possess a mental sharpness and depth that only grow more refined with time. While trends come and go, they remain grounded in their intellectual pursuits, which they've cultivated through years of curiosity, observation, and relentless self-education. They've long since outgrown the need to follow fleeting fads or participate in social gimmicks designed to impress. For them, intelligence and insight are far more valuable than any temporary badge of cultural relevance. What makes this intellectual longevity so extraordinary is its authenticity. They don't acquire knowledge to show off or to fit in with a certain crowd. They do it because they genuinely love learning. Whether it's diving into a new subject, refining a skill, or exploring the depths of their own creativity, their growth is driven by passion rather than obligation. This approach gives them an edge over those who chase superficial recognition. Trends might win temporary applause, but the Sigma female's wisdom commands lasting respect. When she speaks, people listen, not because she's louder than everyone else, but because her words are backed by a lifetime of thought, experience, and deliberate understanding. She's also immune to the fear of being outdated. While others scramble to keep up with the latest buzzwords or social movements, she focuses on timeless truths and principles that never lose relevance. Her depth of knowledge often places her steps ahead of the crowd, even when she's not trying to lead. In a world obsessed with surface-level appeal, the older Sigma female's intellectual longevity shines like a beacon. Her mind is her greatest asset, and it's what sets her apart in a sea of sameness. She doesn't just think differently, she thinks deeper, and that's a trend no one else can replicate. Number 5. Authentic energy magnetism. Older Sigma females have a way of drawing people in without even trying, and it all comes down to their authenticity. Over time, they've learned to let go of relationships that feel forced, draining, or insincere. By shedding these inauthentic connections, they create space for something far more powerful, an unshakable sense of self. This clarity of purpose and values radiates from them, making them magnetic to those who truly align with their energy. What makes their presence so compelling is its purity. They don't rely on charm, manipulation, or performative gestures to connect with others. Instead, their energy is raw, honest, and unapologetically real. People are drawn to them because they sense something rare, a person who knows exactly who they are and refuses to compromise for the sake of appearances. This magnetism doesn't just attract people, it filters them. Only those who resonate with their values and authenticity stick around. The rest fall away. not out of rejection, but because the Sigma female's presence naturally exposes insincerity. This process isn't harsh or intentional. It's simply the result of living a life rooted in honesty. With this approach, their relationships become more meaningful. They no longer waste time on hollow interactions or people who drain their energy. Instead, they cultivate deep, fulfilling connections with those who genuinely add value to their lives. This isn't about having a large social circle. It's about quality over quantity. Their ability to live authentically creates a ripple effect. People who meet them often feel inspired to be more genuine themselves. In a world filled with facades, the older Sigma female's authentic energy isn't just refreshing, it's transformative. It's proof that when you're true to yourself, the right people will always find their way into your life. Number 6. Emotionally untouchable. Older Sigma females have a rare gift, emotional resilience that borders on untouchable. This isn't something they were born with, it's something they've earned. Life has thrown them its harshest challenges, and instead of breaking, they've used those experiences to fortify their inner strength. Over time, they've mastered the art of detachment, allowing them to navigate even the most chaotic situations with grace and clarity. This doesn't mean they're cold or unfeeling. Quite the opposite, they feel deeply. But they've learned to separate their emotions from external noise. They know how to process their feelings internally without letting them spiral into drama or conflict. Where others might get swept away by the tides of gossip, insecurity, or provocation, the Sigma female stands firm, unshaken and calm. Their ability to detach isn't about indifference, it's about discernment. They've become experts at recognizing what truly deserves their energy and what doesn't. Petty arguments, manipulative tactics, or societal pressure to conform simply bounce off them. They refuse to engage in anything that compromises their peace. And this refusal makes them almost impervious to emotional manipulation. What's truly remarkable is how this resilience affects those around them. In moments of crisis or tension, their calm demeanor often becomes a stabilizing force. People look to them for guidance not because they demand attention, but because their presence alone exudes strength and composure. This emotional untouchability doesn't just protect them, it empowers them. It allows them to take risks, stand by their convictions, and live authentically without fear of judgment or failure. In a world that thrives on emotional chaos, the older Sigma female's resilience is both a shield and a superpower, setting her apart as an unshakable force. Number 7. Unapologetically selfish for the right reasons. Older Sigma females have mastered the art of being unapologetically selfish, but not in the way society tends to define selfishness. For them, it's not about taking from others or ignoring responsibilities. It's about reclaiming their time, energy, and focus to invest in what truly matters. They've learned that prioritizing their own well-being isn't just a luxury. It's a necessity for growth, peace, and achieving their goals. This shift doesn't come from arrogance or entitlement. It's born out of hard-earned wisdom. They've spent years pouring themselves into people and situations that didn't always reciprocate or appreciate their efforts. They know what burnout feels like, and they've vowed never to return to that place. By choosing themselves first, they ensure they have the energy and clarity to pursue their passions, maintain their peace, and contribute meaningfully to the relationships and endeavors that truly matter. What sets them apart is how guiltless they are about this choice. They've stopped buying into the societal narrative that prioritizing yourself is selfish or wrong. Instead, they see it as an act of self-respect. They understand that when they're at their best, mentally, emotionally, and physically, they're better equipped to help others, build stronger connections, and make a lasting impact. This unapologetic self-focus often surprises people who are used to women putting everyone else first. But the Sigma female doesn't explain or justify her decisions. She knows her worth and recognizes that saying no to others often means saying yes to herself. In a world that constantly demands self-sacrifice, older Sigma females stand out as proof that protecting your peace and prioritizing your growth isn't selfish, it's revolutionary. They inspire others to do the same, reminding us all that you can't pour from an empty cup. Number 8. Mastery of subtle power. Older Sigma females possess a unique kind of power that doesn't rely on dominance or loud declarations. Instead, it's quiet, deliberate, and highly effective. They've spent years honing their ability to navigate power dynamics not through force or manipulation, but through understanding and strategy. This subtle strength often goes unnoticed at first, but it's impossible to ignore once you realize its impact. Their approach is grounded in observation. They pay close attention to people and situations, reading between the lines to understand motives, emotions, and underlying dynamics. While others rush to assert themselves, the Sigma female moves with patience and precision, choosing her words and actions carefully. She doesn't need to dominate a room to control it. Her presence alone, coupled with her thoughtful approach, commands respect. This mastery of subtle power allows her to remain unpredictable. People often underestimate her because she doesn't seek attention or validation, but this is her advantage. By staying under the radar, she avoids unnecessary conflict while positioning herself exactly where she needs to be. When she does act, her moves are so well calculated that they often leave others wondering how she managed to achieve so much with seemingly little effort. What makes her power so remarkable is its authenticity. She doesn't use it to belittle or control others, but to protect her peace, achieve her goals, and maintain her independence. Her strength uplifts rather than oppresses, and this earns her a level of respect that can't be bought or demanded. It's simply given. In a world that often confuses power with volume, the older Sigma female rewrites the rules. Her quiet confidence and subtle influence prove that true strength doesn't need to shout, it simply is. Number 9. They weaponize their mistakes. Older Sigma females have a profound ability to turn their mistakes into powerful tools for growth. Unlike most people, who might dwell on failures or let them define their future, they have an uncanny ability to repurpose these setbacks as lessons. Each misstep becomes an opportunity to learn, adapt, and refine their skills. They don't just move past their mistakes, they weaponize them, using the knowledge gained to become even more formidable in their pursuits. What makes this approach so extraordinary is how it fuels their personal evolution. Every failure is dissected, understood, and transformed into something useful. Whether it's a missed opportunity, a failed relationship, or a career setback, they don't allow it to knock them down for long. Instead, they extract wisdom from the experience, strengthening their emotional resilience and intellectual capacity. This process of self-reflection and adaptation makes them unpredictable, because while others are still licking their wounds, the Sigma female is already devising her next move, armed with the lessons from her past. This ability to adapt and learn from mistakes not only makes them efficient, but ruthlessly effective. They don't waste time lamenting what went wrong or playing the victim. They assess, recalibrate, and move forward with a newfound sense of purpose. In fact, their failures often become their secret weapons, giving them a level of insight and resilience that others lack. The result is a woman who can face any challenge with unshakable confidence. There's no obstacle too big, no situation too complex, because she's already transformed her past mistakes into the very tool she needs to succeed. This brutal efficiency, born from their willingness to learn from failure, makes the older Sigma female an unstoppable force. Number 10. Anomalies in a conforming world. Older Sigma females stand as unapologetic anomalies in a world obsessed with fitting in. While society often pressures individuals to conform, whether through trends, expectations, or groupthink, the Sigma female thrives precisely because she refuses to bow to these demands. She doesn't try to blend in, and that's what makes her so captivating. In a sea of sameness, she's the one who dares to stand out, not by loud rebellion, but by quietly following her own path, untouched by the world's noise. What makes her so fascinating is the paradox she embodies. On one hand, she's admired for her independence and authenticity. People respect the fact that she's carved out her own identity and lives by her own rules, unshaken by societal pressures. On the other hand, she's feared because her ability to exist outside the expectations of others is a reminder to them of their own insecurities and struggles with conformity. The older Sigma female doesn't need to flaunt her individuality. It radiates naturally, making her a rare gem that others can't quite replicate. Her refusal to conform also grants her a level of freedom few can understand. She doesn't waste time trying to fit into boxes that weren't made for her. Instead, she focuses on creating her own. This freedom gives her an unparalleled strength, and it's this strength that makes her irreplaceable. People who try to mold themselves into societal norms often end up lost, disconnected from who they truly are. But the Sigma female is a reminder that true fulfillment comes from embracing one's uniqueness, not from striving to be like everyone else. In a world where fitting in is often the goal, the older Sigma female's role as an outsider is both a badge of honor and a testament to the power of individuality. She's a rare, irreplaceable force, someone who proves that thriving in a conformist world requires nothing more than embracing what makes you different. In a world that constantly pushes for conformity, older Sigma females rise above the noise, proving that true strength lies in embracing one's individuality. They've built lives defined not by society's expectations, but by their own unshakable values and wisdom. Their journey isn't about perfection or fitting into prescribed molds. It's about evolving into the most authentic, unstoppable version of themselves. Each year, they refine their power, honing it with quiet precision, and the result is nothing short of extraordinary. What makes them so magnetic, so admirable, is their refusal to be anything other than who they are. They don't just survive the passage of time, they thrive using every experience, every failure, every moment of solitude to fuel their growth. They teach us that the secret to a fulfilled life isn't about chasing trends or fitting into boxes, but about knowing yourself deeply and having the courage to honor that knowledge. Older Sigma females don't need approval, they don't chase validation, and they certainly don't apologize for their choices. In a world full of noise and distractions, they remain the steady, silent force that commands respect and admiration without ever raising their voice. Their power is quiet but profound, their appeal timeless and undeniable. They are proof that as we age, we don't lose our magic, we become it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible journey of older Sigma females, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Your support means the world to us. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas filled with joy and peace, and may the new year bring you even more growth, strength, and success. Stay true to yourself and keep shining. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye, and stay blessed.